Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. A nice write-up of Taylor Tomlinson in Glamour, in a really small font, though. I was on glamour.com and I had to hit Control+++ just to make the font legible. I'm old here. Anyway, Taylor's having a good week of buzz and well-deserved, and she said, look, the truth is I couldn't have done After Midnight 4 years ago, even 3 years ago. What's so interesting to me is when it came up, I was like, oh, I think I'm at a place in my life where I could actually do that job, and I could do it well, and I can enjoy it. Anyone in your 20s, you don't know who you are yet. It's crazy how different I felt every year of my 20s. I feel like I'm finally stabilizing at 30. I really do feel different. 29 was a really hard year, but also really good. And out of that, I do feel like the best version of myself. Feels like things kind of locked into a place in a nice way. Taylor says being on the road is really fun, but it's also really lonely. Something that I talked about when I was interviewing for the job was I'd really love when I come back to LA to have a community. The idea of making something new every day with a group of people I really like sounds very fun and creatively fulfilling, getting to see comedians more and getting to meet more comedians. She's hoping she can create a fun comfort show for people at the end of the day. Always a good mission. I agree with that. I'm excited to give stand-up comedians a platform where they can be really funny and get these great clips that are not going to burn their material, which is why we're all posting crowd work online. Really interesting twist there. She'll probably do well if they let the comedians share the clips. They'd be smart to let them. Pauly Shore is starring as Richard Simmons in a biopic. The movie was going to premiere yesterday at the Sundance Film Festival. A trailer was out. I went to pull some audio for it, and it just wouldn't work in terms of this podcast. Seems Pauly listened to fan suggestions on his YouTube videos and social media where people commented that he kind of looked like Richard Simmons. But according to Entertainment Weekly, Pauly Shore thinks the similarities are deeper. He says, I am him. I like helping people. I like health. I like putting that energy out there. Through my mom in the Comedy Store, she helped a lot of people, and it kind of got passed down to me. I help comedians and people, so I really relate to Richard. I've been going to the gym since I was a kid, and I think I'm a little over the top as well, so I feel like I connect with him, and I've known him for years back in the day. I started in the 90s. I used to always see him, and I always giving him hugs and high fives and stuff. He says in public, people would walk up to him and be like, hey, what's up? I know you. You're Richard Simmons. Pauly says, that's a compliment, by the way. He's very handsome. Also, his style and my style is very over the top and spontaneous, so that's inherent in me already. All right, pay attention to this next part because it's going to be important in a couple minutes. Entertainment Weekly asked if he got to speak with Richard. Pauly said his people responded, and they said that he loves me and he loves my mom and the store and all that stuff, but at this time he just wants to lay low and not really be involved. The film takes place in the early 2000s. Richard is getting ready to do The Ellen Show. There's a bumbling kind of PA on the set, and he's a bit overweight, and he's kind of getting in the way of everyone. Everyone's yelling at him because Richard Simmons is there, and it's just very, very uncomfortable for him. And Richard sees this go down. Richard comes out and does his thing on Ellen, and then afterward, there's this whole monologue that Richard has with his fumbling PA by the craft services table where I shine some light on how beautiful he really is and how special he is and help him turn around a little bit. Kind of starts off fun, and then the last part is Richard's message. As for Richard's non-involvement, my attitude is, if we build it, he'll come. That's my hope. My hope is that he sees it, it looks good, it feels good, it's all right. And then he might say, I'm down, I'll help you guys, I'll be part of it, and I'll hold your hand. Now, Richard Simmons himself jumped on Facebook and wrote, hi, everybody. You may have heard they're doing a movie about me with Pauly Shore. I have never given my permission for this movie, so don't believe everything you read. I no longer have a manager, and I no longer have a publicist. I just try to live a quiet life and be peaceful. Thank you for all your love and support. Dana Carvey has resumed podcasting again. He addressed his family situation following the death of his son, Dex. Dana said, it's me and my wife and our son's private journey. We're all together and we do a lot of fun things. We hike, we go to church. We just want to make sure that you keep moving. He said, getting back in the swing of the podcast will be very healthy for me as I recover. I'm kind of on the pain train with about millions of other people on this planet. And you don't know how long you're going to be on it or when it'll stop and when it'll get better. But in the meantime, all this kind of stuff is very healthy. I thought about it over the holidays and decided to come back to the podcast because I think, it's a long day when you're not working and you get in your head, and I think it's going to be a great break, and I think it's really cool to laugh. Doing this and riffing with you, David Spade, is going to be very healthy for me as I recover because I'm kind of on the pain train with millions of other people on this planet, and you don't know how long you're going to be on it, when it'll stop or when it'll get better, but in the meantime, all this kind of stuff is very healthy. The Snow Jam Comedy Festival continues in Sioux Falls today. Oh, when I last looked, today's low had been forecasted to be minus 21, but in the updated forecast, just a low of minus 20 with a high of 6. So it's much better than yesterday. Congrats Dan Bublitz Jr. and the crew at Snow Jam. They have 4 events today. Starting at 1 o'clock, it's the Munch Mike. Come eat some delicious food while you watch comedians from across the country do new material, or maybe sign up and try it out yourself. 5 o'clock, it's Hot Cocoa Comedy with 2, 4, 5, 10 comics. Always good to see 10 comics on a bill. Sean Jordan is your headliner at 7 o'clock. Sean co-hosts the popular podcast All Fantasy Everything. And then at 9:30, it's Snow Time. 10 comics on the bill. Like I said, always good to see 10 comics on the bill. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, Sketchfest continues. And there are quite a bunch of shows. I won't read them all. Let's see. At noon, The State Hits and Misses. David Wayne, Joe Latruglio, Ken Marino, and gang. 4 o'clock, Celebrity Autobiography with Thomas Lennon catches my eye. 7 o'clock, David Cross and Friends. The Desi Comedy Fest. Sydney Washington's How to Start a Fire, also at 7. At 8 o'clock, the Middle-Aged Dad Jam Band with Ken Marino and David Wayne. Also on that bill, Thomas Lennon and Weird Al Yankovic. That alone would get me there. We'll say Sloan at 9:30. Locals only at 9:45. Again, I'm not reading them all. Oh, and also at 9:45, Exorcistic, the unauthorized rock musical parody of The Exorcist. All right, if we were at Sketchfest, we'd hit the State at noon. Then we would have several hours to have some beverages. 7 o'clock, I would want to see something different. I would go, let's go see Desi Comedy Fest. And you'd be like, I don't want to go see that. And I'd be like, come on, man. And then we would go and have a great time. And then for the late show, I'd make you go see Locals Only. And then you'd be like, oh, that was a lot of fun. I'd be like, yeah, trust me, I know what I'm doing at comedy festivals. Another comedy festival coming up is coming to Williamsburg, January 25th through the 28th. It is the Last Word Comedy Festival. It includes Improvised Jane Austen. The ladies of Improvised Jane Austen tell a tale on the spot, the style of the most beloved 19th century authoress. That's fun. Hitch Cocktails creates a full-length thriller in the style of Alfred Hitchcock while partaking in beverages. That's Friday the 26th. It's the same night as the Jane Austen, though. I hope those don't overlap. Then on Saturday the 27th, Clued In, inspired by the works of Agatha Christie and the cases of Sherlock Holmes. This is an improvised murder mystery. Sunday the 28th, Riff, Chicago's improv music party. This show takes the fast-paced games of Whose Line Is It Anyway? As energized by a full band and a wild musical comedy showcase. You can find the full festival schedule at lastwordfestival.com. And if you're in Northern Ireland, put this one on the calendar. This sounds awesome. It's the Comedians Darts Tournament, Saturday, March 9th. Americans, have you ever watched the Dart Championships? It is tremendous fun. It is so fast-paced. These guys go up there and they just go whap, whap, whap. And then they grab their darts and the next guy's already, as fast as I'm telling this story, going whap, whap, whap. Next, I'm up. Okay, cool. Bang, bang, bang. And the announcers, they're like lightning quick. I guess they do it so often that they're like, okay, he needs 2 18s and a 4. They just have all the number combinations memorized, or a computer's helping them. I don't know. This thing moves so fast. So you have the darts. Then there's the drunk audience. Just picture the Let's Make a Deal audience, except they're drunk. So it is so much fun. I saw this one guy. He needed like an 18 to close it out, and he totally showboated. He must have been up by a lot. He goes up and he goes, I just missed. And he just missed the 18. Throws another one like half force. And I just missed again. And then he goes, bang. And then basically dropped the mic and was like, I'm the king. The announcers were like, this guy's peacocking. Darts is a lot of fun. Check it out. They're on YouTube. Just go on YouTube and type in Darts Championship. Trust me, so much fun. Anyway, coming to Belfast, Saturday, March 9th, Comedian Darts. The lineup includes the sharp-tongued Colin Geddes, the hilariously insightful Andrew Ryan, the comedic dynamo Deonna Doherty, the pun master Sean Hegarty, the irreverent Dave Elliott, the uproarious Connor Keys, the hilarious Aaron Butler, and your referee, James McKegney. Audiences can expect an evening filled with comedic brilliance, unexpected twists, and possibly some poor dart throwing. And that is your comedy news for today. If you enjoy the program, tell a friend about it. You know, social media, share a link. Be like, hey, man, listen to this. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/dailycomedynews. I will take your money. I'll drive right past the donut chain. They've been messing up my order lately. I'm going to go to the smoothie place and buy a smoothie. And if you know what Podcasting 2.0 is, go to the Fountain app. Throw some sats my way. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can read the show notes. And I'll see you tomorrow.